and raged violently across his entire body. He'd never felt more awake than he did at that moment. The sound came again, and the air inside the car resonated, buzzing the dash. He swerved just in time, narrowly avoiding the 18-wheeler that blocked his view as headlights dazzled him. The piercing lights quickly passed. Behind him, the drone of the air horn faded at last, along with the uncomfortable pounding in his chest. He took a deep breath and forced it out again, still bolt upright in his seat, still clenching the wheel. He glanced down at himself and took in the straining buttons on his white shirt and the heavy thighs that were tight inside his loose-fit tan linen trousers. "Gotta shape up, JT," he told himself. He reached across to the passenger seat and scooped up an almost empty bag of Hershey's miniatures. "Goodbye, Mr. Goodbar," he thought as he popped the glove box and slammed the chocolates inside. The dim beam of his own vehicle's antiquated headlights shed a soft glow on the quiet road ahead. He squinted into the night and ran a clammy hand through the sweat on his brow, pushing his fingers back through a dense crop of dark, unkempt hair. An approaching road sign told him he was still heading in the right direction, towards Boston, Massachusetts, his destination for a meeting he'd hoped to avoid because he knew his bear of a client was not going to be happy with what he had to tell him. Something about the assignment didn't add up. Now his preoccupation with it had almost killed him. His mind was a torment of unsolved riddles. Eleanor Fairborn. The children. Why can't I trace them? What happened to them? Chapter 2. Tate's client was a busy man, and breakfast meetings were to be expected, if not always welcomed, although apart from the company, Tate could think of few better places to enjoy a fine Tuesday morning than on the terrace of Walter Sloane's luxury penthouse condominium. Tate was used to travelling to see his clients, but today he was weary from the 450-mile drive from his home in Washington, D.C., and the near-death experience he'd had a few hours back. Long night drives left him drained, but it was better than flying. Sloane's condo was in South Boston, a few miles from his client's business epicenter in the downtown financial district. It was one of 4 corner residences that enjoyed total privacy, boasting views across the old harbor towards the harbor islands in the east and north to the photogenic Boston skyline. Tate was sitting at a smoked glass and aluminium table close to the balcony, overlooking Carson Beach. He dunked another croissant in his black coffee and continued speaking to his client. Somewhere close to 100,000 loyalists left America at the end of the War of Independence to remain subjects of King George III of England. Most went to England, others to Ireland, Scotland, and Canada, particularly Nova Scotia. He unfolded some more of the genealogy chart on the table. Tate still used charts for show. Clients liked them. They liked to see the family tree grow as he revealed more and more of their past. Some of the family didn't make it through the war, he continued. Both parents and grandparents were already gone before it started. Life expectancy back then for Massachusetts was only about 60 years. He traced a finger across the chart, moving through several generations until he arrived at the first American-born ancestor of his client's wife. William Fairborn, he said, James Fairborn's brother. He moved away long before the American Revolution began, finally settling in what's now West Virginia, and there's nothing so far to suggest the brothers kept in touch. He closed the chart again and shook his head, surprised at his own findings. Seems unusual, he added. People don't often run away from money. Walter Sloane was a man who made Jefferson Tayte look fit. He appeared to be at work already, nose buried in the Boston Business Journal, a stack of national papers beside his elbow. He looked up. Maybe they fell out. His voice was gritty, with an undertone of sub-bass that distressed the air as he spoke. If that's who my wife got her temper from, they probably kicked him out. Whatever the reason, Tate said, with only daughters following, and James Fairborn moving the rest of the family back to England, that was the last of this particular Fairborn line in America. James Fairborn returned to a comfortable estate and a baronetcy for his loyalty. Sloane turned another page and slurped from a thin bone china cup, his fingers clumsy on the delicate handle. He clanked the cup back onto the saucer.